We turn our attention to the men's division. Well, the athletes line up here now for this compound men's gold medal match. Tim Jevsnik of Slovenia on target number 1, going up against the French archer here, Victor Bouleau, and he gets a massive cheer from the crowd here in Nimes at the Stade de France Nimes Archery Tournament. Time to go for gold here, and it will be Bouleau on target number 2 to shoot first.
Below there, finding his middle on his second arrow. Jevsnik still not quite got his center. Needs to settle down and find it fast.
Maybe 10, says the French stadium announcer. So marked as a 29 for Bouleau. Bang in the center of the target for Jevsnik. John, you said he was looking for it. I think he's found it.
That was a perfect donut there to finish that first 3 arrows. Obviously, we're on total score now of shooting 15 arrows for a maximum of 150.
Well, the Frenchman Victor Bouleau in the black t-shirt just closest to us, here he is, looking up at the big screen, so composed he actually checked his hair in the big screen. Well, that's a man who's relaxed.
That's what it's there for.
Tim Jevsnik here from Slovenia, not getting off to the best start. 2 9s though, not too bad. Finds the center of the target with his third. First and third arrows being measured for Victor Bouleau. Provisionally marked as a 9 and a 10. So potentially he could be on a 28 or a 30 here. Currently marked as a 29. Little words between the coach and the athlete there. Now, what has that been measured as?
I expected to be a 29. I thought his first one was out.
You know what? I think it may well have been marked up. Controversy in the commentary box here. John not disagreeing with me. He is, of course, the expert. He thinks it's 29 playing 28. I think the Frenchman's potentially been marked up to a 30 here. We'll find out very shortly. Either way, Bouleau leading. Jevsnik here, trailing by 1 or 2 potentially. Time for end number 2 here in Nimes, France. And it is Victor Bouleau of France leading by 2. Tim Jevsnik will shoot first. Well, he was right in the middle of the target with his third arrow of the first, and he's carried that into the second. And notionally has closed the gap by 1 here.
Not as steady there from Jevsnik. His first shot absolutely perfect. Second one not quite so good.
.29 finish for Jevsnik for a 57. 2-9 so far from Bouleau. Make that 3 for a 27 for him. And just like that, we're all square at 57 apiece. I didn't see anything in particular there that would urge a change in score from the target judge, but we do always have to wait for confirmation. John, Jevsnik here, plumbing 2 beautiful shots into the centre of the target, but that second shot you highlighted.
Yeah, it wasn't quite as clean as his other two, but when he's getting it right, as you saw, his arrows are dead centre, and I think he's really going to come on strong now. He looking really good.
Still looking relaxed though, Victor Bouleau dropped 3 points in the second, having been marked up to a perfect score in the first, which was a bit of a surprise to the pair of us. But it took him 30-28 up after the first, all square now for Jevsnik. And you have to say that third arrow in the first could prove to be the turning point for Jevsnik. Starting to look very composed himself. Ready to go for end number 3. And it will be the Frenchman to shoot first. He does need those arrows, though. All square. The Frenchman vying for gold here in Nimes.
Bouleau's looking very tense in his front hand. And if that gets any more tension in there, that will start moving his arrows out of that little 10. Jevsnik, I really like the way he's shooting.
Well, second perfect for Bouleau, despite the tension in that front hand. Well, that's something we need to keep an eye on. Well, does look like a 29. The stadium announcer was suggesting the first arrow from Jevsnik may well go to a measure. I don't see that, so I think the provisional scoreline that we had up there very briefly in the top left-hand corner was correct, and that showed that Victor Bouleau was on 87 and Tim Jevsnik was on 86. So we're seeing a stronger process from the Slovenians, from Jevsnik. You're seeing a little bit of tension, John, in Victor Bouleau's front hand, and yet Bouleau has managed to push himself back into the lead.
Absolutely. Jevsnik's form, for me, is really good. His shots are really aggressive, and he really gets something below. He's got more of a softer looking shot. There's bits of tension in there, so he gets his 30s when he gets it right. But if his form's a little bit off, you saw in the second end, he came down from a 30 to a 27, sorts it back out. So he needs to be really careful that he gets his form very right.
Well, we're ready for the fourth end here. The home crowd, I'm calling it a crowd in inverted commas, it's made up of the delegations that are here competing rather than a traditional audience in this 4,000-seater arena that's usually packed out for these events. It is Bouleau leading, so Jevsnik to shoot first. back to the solid shots, and a little nod of self-affirmation there from Jevsnik. That's into a previous hole, marked as a 9, but could well get marked up on a measure.
Just watch the bow hand of Bouleau here. It's kind of the guide to where his arrows are going.
Oh, chances there to open things up potentially. But at the moment, provisionally marked as 228 in that fourth. But I think there's a couple of arrows in there that will go to measures, John.
Yeah, that's Judge's nightmare up there right now. Bouleau's first arrow, one of Jevsnik's second arrow as well. Absolutely, that Judge is going to probably put some fresh faces up, I imagine.
Will they do that if it's so crowded in certain areas on the face between the fourth and the fifth ends?
Yeah, if the line is not clean and they cannot call it, they will replace the target face, even if it's one end to go.
Well, there you go. So Jevsnik here potentially could be trailing by 2, or if the score goes right for him, he could be leading by 1. Up and down.
I think they're both going down.
Well, we shall wait and see how this one pans out. A very big call from the judge here in the fourth. Looks like it is 10-9-9 and 9-10-9, although the cheer from the crowd may suggest something else. I think it's a 28 plays 28, as does John. We go into the fifth, Jevsnik to shoot first, trailing by 1.
That's good. Nice looking arrows there from Jevsnik. Will Bouleau put another arrow out to the right, or will he keep his centre?
Oh, that is close, isn't it? That gone slightly low as well. A 1-4-2 is the mark for Jevsnik at the moment. Oh, well, I'm very hesitant to call this one, John. Very hesitant indeed. At the moment, the provisional score shows Victor Bouleau of France holding on to that 1-point lead and therefore taking the compound men's gold. But your thoughts?
I'm predicting that's a shoot-off. I think Jevsnik's getting a 29, possibly a 30. Bouleau's second arrow, we know, was definitely out. And it went right as I predicted.
So we think it's a 28 for Bouleau, a 10-9-9.
No, 29.
A 29, so it would require a 30 from Jevsnik then to draw things level and force the shoot off. They wait like we do. The magnifying glass is out. 10-9-9 on target number 2. That is a 28.
Yeah.
So a 143.
Oh.
A cheer from the other side. It looks like it's a 144 for Jevsnik. Has he turned this round with a perfect 30 in the final end? Bouleau can't believe it. But look at the body language and the celebration. Tim Jevsnik of Slovenia has turned it round with a perfect 30. He was threatening it throughout. He brought it when it was most needed in the fifth end and has stolen this one, 144 to 143. Tim Jevsnik of Slovenia is the youth champion of the Nimes Archery Tournament. Well, what a cheer from the supporters here in France. Victor Bouleau led from the third through the fourth, but got overturned in the fifth by a strong Slovenian, Tim Jevsnik. What a performance, John.
Absolutely, Jevsnik's strong attacking, consistent form really paid off there in that fifth end under the highest pressure. Below, he was really good, but he was very passive in his shot, and that front hand just kept twitching arrows to the right. You could see it, particularly in the second end. The warning signs were there that if Jevsnik put him under pressure, he would crack him, and he did.